Good evening. This is Evangelist Robert L. McKim Sr. I want to come with you tonight with some things that's been laying on my heart here lately. Things that a lot of people don't really know about me. They think that they know. They think they know who and what I am, but they really don't know where I've been, where I've come from, and what I have promised to God Almighty Jehovah. And really, when it comes right down to it, in my understanding and the way they are treating me, they really don't care what I have promised God, what I have given over to God. They don't care what God has told me and what we have communicated through prayer and through Him, telling me through my dreams and through His Word and through Him just basically talking to me. Some people out there, they don't care. They just rather tear me down and rip me open and make me out to be something I'm not. First off, okay, when I was in junior high, it was in 1978. My mother signed me up for a newspaper route. I thought it was the local little newspaper that they had in Newcomerstown, but then later I found out it was the county-wide newspaper. And it was called the Times Reporter. The Times Reporter. Here's one of my bags I still have of the Times Reporter. I had later, of course, in order to collect money, I had to put my money in this bag here. And one of my somebody that I knew took and fixed up for me, put some jean material in the back here so I can make a belt loop thingy out of it, so I can hang it on my belt. And then I later on also purchased one of these change dispensers, old one, because a lot of the newer ones that's still out there has plastic. This has no plastic. This is all metal. Basically, it's considered as an antique. And I had to use a hole puncher. I'm not sure where the hole puncher went off to punch holes in okay, hang on a minute. Here's the hole puncher. Of course, everybody knows what a hole puncher is. Use that in the when I collect, I punch holes in these cards to show where that they paid. The newspaper bundles used to be wrapped with wire, and this is an old wire cutter that I had to use to cut the wire off the then they went to the plastic. When I first started delivering newspapers, it was Monday through Saturday. Then they start, and Started at $2.10 every 2 weeks, and it went up from there. And then they started the Sunday paper. A lot of people wasn't too happy. They didn't want the Sunday paper, but they had to take the Sunday paper, and of course the price is going up even more because of the Sunday paper. And I wasn't those kind of newspaper carriers that would just throw the paper and you know, basically throw the paper and wherever it landed. No. I put the newspaper where the paper customer wanted it. If it was in their mailbox, on the hooks that is sometimes underneath the mailboxes, in between their front door and their screen door, in their patio, wherever they wanted it, that's where I put the newspaper. I wasn't the kind that just threw the papers and oh well. I had pride in my newspaper route. I had pride in my newspaper customers because they're the ones that paid me. After I paid my bill to the Times Reporter, then I lived on what was left over. Usually right around $150 every month. And when I started driving, then I got this here sign here to put on the back of my parents' vehicle. And as time went on, I don't know if anybody remember or not, I also had started selling the Grit. The Grit newspaper. It was kind of like a cross between a magazine and a newspaper, to make some extra money as well. I also sold Blair products as well, which had eventually went out of business. It was something like between Avon and Amway. But as I got older and I graduated high school, my parents, they had a police scanner. And they got me a handheld police scanner for my birthday and graduation, excuse me. And long story short, I had got into CB radios after graduation, and I was talking to some CB radio friends. One of them happened to be in React, and he got me into React. I was in React from 1984 until 1987, 8, somewhere around there. 87. I think it was 88. Yeah. When React disbanded. Excuse me. I got married to my ex-wife in 1986. She also joined React. And in 1987, I joined another group called the National CB Radio Patrol. And when React disbanded in 1988, I and some other friends of mine got together and got a charter with the National CB Radio Patrol, and took over basically where React had left off. But we even went even farther than that. Because one thing that React was supposed to be for is to help stranded motorists on the highways and byways to monitor the emergency channel of the CB Radio Patrol, Channel 9, for people in distress. Well, we did that, plus we also went to traffic accidents and helped with traffic control. In 1988, I had landed a job as a security guard, so I had to give up my newspaper route. I worked as a security officer, in which I was fired from because I had the flu. I was off work for 6 days, and my supervisor said I missed 16 days of work. She lied to her supervisors in order to get me fired because she didn't like me. Because well, for one thing, I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know she was cheating on her husband. But someone had called, wanted to know where she was, and I said she was supposed to be in a meeting with so and so. And come find out, actually, she was cheating on her husband with this person. So, I think that's one reason why she didn't like me, because I kind of opened up my mouth when I shouldn't open my mouth. But I was just told that if anybody called, that she was in a meeting. Well, anyhow, that's history. I later had, after I fought to get my unemployment, I later saw her at the employment office, and some other security guards from the factory I worked at. Oh, and then after I worked as a security guard, was fired, I got a phone call from Job and Family Services wanting to know if I'd be interested in becoming a home health aide. I said yeah. So I started classes, and I also started taking EMT training. Here's my book for my EMT training. Emergency Medical Technician. Yeah, I still have this book. I still have the knowledge of saving people's lives. Before all this, and when I was in REACT, in 1984, I started taking CPR and first aid with the American Red Cross. Well, my job as a home health aide it was only a 9-month training job, basically. You get paid, you get trained, and then you go to work for 9 months, and you get paid. I got paid, good money. Working minimum wage, basically, plus gas mileage. And long story short, then that ended after 9 months, and then I was basically on my own. I was out of work for a while, different factory jobs, and then I went to school back in 1992. I went to school and became a state certified security officer. I was hoping again to land a job as a security guard somewhere, which I did. I landed a job, but then again, that job didn't last very long. Let me find it here. Here is the college I went to in 1992, Mansfield Business College. And here's my state certification. This basically doesn't go away. Okay? Neither does my college degree. I'm basically, a certified security officer until basically either I die or the state of Ohio says I no longer can be a security officer. Oh yeah, here's something I earned a certificate of merit from GRIT. Well, anyhow, getting back to after I had landed security guard job. Like I said, I worked as a home health aide, and I also worked as a security officer on and off. Here's my certificate for my home health aide back in 1990. And then I worked at Good Samaritan in Zanesville. Here is my certificate from Good Samaritan in Zanesville, Ohio. And I've done some more studies with them as well. Well, like I said, I worked on and off as a security officer and a home health aide for 5 years. Then I worked in a group home for a little while. And then I became a school bus driver for 5 years. I drove school bus for another 5 years. So, a newspaper carrier for 11 years. On and off as a security officer, home health aide for actually 6 years. And then another 5 years as a school bus driver. And then in the meantime, I've been studying my Bible. Every time I would go on a school bus trip, I would study my Bible. Well, in 1989, a friend of mine who was a ordained minister ordained me in the Universal Life Church. So I became ordained in 1989 as an ordained minister by a friend of mine who was also a minister. I did not do it online because let me ask you this. When did the internet start? The internet didn't start until 1995. It didn't start in the 80s. The internet didn't start in the 70s. The internet didn't start in the 60s or the late 50s when Kirby J. Hansley founded. He founded the Universal Life Church in 1959, people. 1959. The internet wasn't invented until 1995. But there's some people out there that wants to run their mouth and say, I'm fake. The Universal Life Church is fake. All because they think in their own mind. Well, let me kind of try to hopefully wrap this up. Again, like I've said, I studied. I earned my Doctor of Divinity degree. I also went on and earned my master's degree in religion. And I earned my Doctor of Philosophy in religion. I didn't just send off and get them in the mail and then, get the certificates. No, I had to study. And I got my soul clinic. And then later on in 2005, I earned a diploma in psychology and social. Psychology and social work. I got a. Well, as soon as I find the letter here, I passed. Oh, where does it say here? Here it says here somewhere, but yeah. Oh, where does it say? Oh yeah, 91% average. 91% average that I passed. And then in 2007, I started with Belmont Technical College and earned my degree in mental health. So I'm not stupid, not by a long shot. I have all these degrees, all this training under my belt, but there's people out there that want to say I'm stupid. All because they think they know me. All because they think that they know, everything about me. And while I was doing the radio patrol, there have been a lot of newspaper write-ups about me. Messengers over the airwaves about me and the radio patrol. Accidents we've been to. Many accidents. Acknowledging us being there. Helping out with traffic control. I mean, even a big pile up on Interstate 77 near Stone Creek back in 1995. But there's some people that basically want to tear me down and try to make everything I do out to be just a hobby. Something else, people, that I have earned for the radio patrol is a community awareness, community service award from the New Philadelphia VFW Post. This is why I do what I do. I don't do it for the money, like some people think I should be doing it for. When I was going to college, first off, I was just basically in CB radios, and I always wanted to get my ham radio license. And then I went to a class that the Ham Radio Club was having, and I studied with them, and I later passed and got my ham radio license. Then I used some of my overage money and bought my first ham radio. This is my first ham radio. It was around $150. KDIEW portable.
Good evening. This is the KHNNC repeater.
So, nobody's on for some reason, but anyhow. I do what I do to help people. I do what I do as a community service. My ministry is a community service. My radio patrol is a community service. My radios are for community service. Where does it say that we're supposed to be paid for community service work? Where? Where does it say we're supposed to be paid? You know, I have given my radios over to God a long time ago. And He has given me the opportunity to save many people's lives. That's what is important. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I honestly do not care if you don't like what I do. Because I am sick and tired of people running their mouth thinking that they know everything about me when they don't know everything about me. I'm also in Skywarn. There's my Skywarn badge and ID number. I've had reported many severe storms and flash flooding to the National Weather Service so that they can issue the warnings. My reports have saved many people's lives. And I have been at, like I said, many accidents helping with traffic control. And not only just helping with traffic control, but saving people's lives. There was this young guy that was in an auto accident. Him and his friends rear-ended a semi, and he had a big gash in his forehead because he hit the windshield. And I had pressure, and I was doing C-spine mobilization, while this other ex-EMT, he was helping as well until the other paramedics and EMTs got on scene. Then me and my radio patrol started helping with traffic control. I helped save people's lives, and people broke down, people in minor fender bender accidents, and almost getting hit several times by semis going out of control in the snow and the ice. But God was always there to save me, to push me out of the way just in time. And I thank you, Lord, for giving me the opportunity to do what I do. And I pray, Lord, that you will let people see what I really do. And maybe down the road, if they are in an accident and a reactor or somebody comes along and helps them out also, they'll see what it's like to be saved by somebody that's a volunteer and doesn't ask for money in return. All I have been doing is asking for things that we need, that Renee needs. And it's like, these people think I'm addressing them personally. I'm addressing anybody and everybody out there that's listening to me. Yes, I'm an ordained minister. Yes, I have degrees. But where does it say that you have to make money with your degrees? Why can't you just accept the fact that I can't hold a full-time job, and that you're thinking that everybody has to work until the day they drop over dead is a false gospel. The root of all the love of money is the root of evil, and when you put money ahead of everything else, you're making money your God. And I'm not making money my God. You know, I could do without, really, when it comes right down to it. Renee, she doesn't need a lift chair. No, you know, she doesn't need a lift chair. But she would like to have a lift chair to help her life a little bit better, to get up and out of the chair better. She would like a lift chair. Don't you, hun?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Anyhow, she would like a lift chair, but can't afford a lift chair. CareSource won't pay for a whole thing. That's all I'm just trying to get across. CareSource won't pay for a whole thing. I'm not saying, hey, give us money. We want all your money right now. We want all your money. Hand it over. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to get across to people that CareSource, Ohio, Medicaid, even Medicare isn't there for everything, like some people think it is. And it seems like every time I try to bring up the fact that we need help, it's like, well, pulling teeth without Novocaine. Listen, I gotta get off here. My time's about over. God bless you. Have a blessed day.